What is up, y'all? Goofy Rexy here, and hope everybody is doing well. And welcome, guys, to the weekly headliner update, week number 68. Now, if you're new to the weekly headliner, this is where we discuss what is upcoming this week in Marvel Strike Force, and then we recap the important topics from the previous week as well. Now, as usual, we got lots to talk about here this week. We have Wong's Blitz that's returning, so we're going to be going over the numbers from the previous time when this Blitz came around, what numbers you should be shooting for to help you to kind of push towards or plan out, what sort of Blitz rotations you need to do here. We'll go through that. Morgan Le Fay's final day of the Scourge event, we'll talk about that as well. New strike pass for this week that is upcoming, and then also what is going on right now with the Unfarmable character cadence. Kind of crazy at the moment. We're going to go back to some information that they shared with us 2 years ago that it seems as if they're not following right now. But all this, guys, and more on the weekly headliner update, and we're going to start right now. All right, y'all, welcome back. And of course, if it's your first time coming to the channel here, I'd like to see some more MSF content. I do these weekly headliner updates on a weekly basis and at least 4 to 5 videos a week on Marvel Strike Force. Then consider hitting that subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell so that you will know when my videos do go live. There's a few of the links that are down below in the description as well. One where you can join my Discord. There's also another link to my Twitch page where I do stream Marvel Strike Force content on a weekly basis. Usually Monday nights, Wednesday nights, and Friday nights is when I do stream. There's a few other links that are down below as well, so you can kind of keep up to date with regards to things that I post throughout the week as well. But wanted to jump into the first topic for this week, which is going to be our blitzes. So this week, we do have the return of the Wong Blitz, and then we also do have Silver Samurai, which is going to be on Thursday. Now, obviously, the more important blitz that a lot of us care about is going to be the Wong Blitz. Now, I have pulled up here the blitz predictions from the last time when we did this blitz. So the prediction numbers were for your 1 to 100 ranking. The predictions were you need to land at 72.6 million. For your top 1%, the predictions were 53.4. Now, we can continue to read through this, but I wanted to actually show you some actual numbers that we got here. So I'm hoping that you can see this behind me in the background. If not, I'll go ahead and I'll talk through it here. Actually, let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can probably see it a little bit better. But so in terms of actual numbers and where things landed, for your top 1 to 100 ranking, the cutoff numbers was actually 76.231, right? So a little bit higher than what those prediction numbers were. The top 1% was 59.8 million, 2 to 3, 41 million, 4 to 10 was 20 million. You're looking at 11 to 20, 11.6, and 7.7 for your 21 to 30. You can see the numbers as they go down. And so definitely a high blitz number. The highest score was 113 million, which is crazy to think about, right? But these are kind of the number. This is what you should be shooting for depending on where you're looking to land. Now, me personally, I'm going to be shooting for about 2 to 3%. I got top 1% the last time, and I did the math. I think I only need about like maybe 61 shards or so like that in order to be able to get the shards that I need. So I think I'm going to be shooting for 2 to 3% to try to make sure that I can land on the shards that I need here. Now, one of the, I guess the good thing about this, that Wong's Blitz is returning, while we also do have the Agatha Hardness event that's going live, that's live right now as well. So therefore, you'll be able to take advantage of having this blitz run or being able to do a lot of blitz rotations while also being able to get those orb fragments for the Agatha Hardness Occult Hex orbs. So therefore, that kind of helps out a little bit as well. So look at these numbers here, see where you need to land. And of course, I'm wishing you guys the best of luck tonight as the blitz starts and throughout the duration really of the blitz as well. All right, so we talked about this briefly when we went through the Wong's Blitz here. So the Agatha Hardness event is live right now. It's going to be active while we're doing that Wong Blitz. So I guess the Agatha Hardness event won't feel that bad because at least we're blitzing for Wong to get shards. Although blitzing as much as 8 times per day does feel pretty bad here. But shout out to Yule Tidebringer who did make this spreadsheet, kind of broke down all the milestones. So the witches, Coven, I don't know how to say it, guys. I really don't know how to say it. The Arcane Witchery milestone where you spend your power cores, and then your web milestone, the Bewitching Sorcery milestone. So based on the information that's provided here, if you do want to get a 4-star character free to play, it is possible through the event. It's just incredibly grindy, right? So essentially you would need to at least do your 4 campaign energy buys per day, and then you would also need to do your 3 campaign energy your core buys as well for your ISO 8 campaign energy also. And then really it turns around to it being an extremely heavy blitz event where we broke it down here where if you have 39 teams, you would need to, at least per rotation, you would need to get a 80% win rate, which I believe is the equivalent of like 31.2 wins or something like that. So essentially you need like 32 wins per rotation. That would give you enough orb fragments to open up enough orbs, and then we'll be able to land you just barely 181 shards. So let's put it this way: if you are not able to max out all 8 rotations per day, let's say that you're only able to do 7.9, which is 79 blitz rotations, that means that you're going to end up being 2 shards short of being able to get a 4-star Agatha hardness. So it's much easier if you're free to play just to try to get the unlock, and then whatever else you get is extra, because I don't know if you're going to be able to max out doing 8 rotations per day. It's pretty insane. Now, if you're only shooting for a 3-star character, or just a 3-star unlock free to play, it's a little bit simpler. It's 5 rotations per day at 30 wins at minimum, which will get you the 42 occult hex orbs, and that will give you, I believe it's like 86 shards, and then through the witches to the occult orbs milestone, you'll be able to get the remaining shards that you need to be able to get a 3-star unlock. So I don't know. To me, this event is a disappointing event in comparison to the last few events that we've had, where the anniversary event was largely free to play. Well, actually, that was pretty much basically free to play. The Morbius event was mostly completable free to play, except for those 2 milestones, which kind of suck, because if you're looking for those Armory 16 orbs, then you probably felt some type of way about it. But at least it was a lot more free to play friendly, because you could get a 4-star Morbius, right? So this feels bad. We thought that they were turning a leaf here and kind of really, helping out and considering the players. I think at this point in time in the game where it's at right now, yes, a 3-star character is okay, but a 3-star character that's an arena character, it feels bad that we have to grind this hard just to be able to get a 4-star. Now, some of the rewards through the milestones are good, but I don't know if it feels as good that you have to grind so hard to be able to get it, and then not really feel as rewarded for it. That's really kind of heavy. 8 rotation per day as a really kind of a requirement to get 4 stars. It doesn't feel good, right? So those are kind of my thoughts here on the Agatha Hardness event. Hopefully this information was helpful, but shout out once again to you, Tidebringer, for making this. All right, and then bringing back attention to the Scourge event. So the Morgan Le Fay Pestilence Scourge event is going to be ending tonight. Thank God. I don't know, man. I'm over the Scourge event. I'm over it. I've been over it probably since the first 3 days when we started, and then the leaderboards, and then all the people in the leaderboards that were obviously hacking and doing it to troll us. But man, it's just kind of a culmination of all the sort of just nonsense that we try to prevent before even doing this event. They didn't fix it. And I don't know, man, it's just really frustrating. But this is going to be ending tonight. I know there's a lot of players who are kind of pushing towards the very end right now. So what we do know, right, is that if you're at least able to get into the top 8%, that you will get a 5-star Morgan Le Fay. And that's pretty much basically how the rankings are sort of broken down here. I personally got to 1.399 and just decided to stop here. But I think if you get top 8%, that you'll be able to get a 4-star character. Now, you won't be able to get the 4 red stars. So that potentially might feel bad. And also, let me do the math on this too, because I could be wrong. So 4 times 15 is 60 shards plus your 150. Plus the 100 that you're getting from the milestones. Yeah, so top 8% will definitely make sure that you are able to get that 5-star Morgan Le Fay that you are looking for. Now, the unfortunate portion about it is that because it's a leaderboard, you kind of don't necessarily know exactly where to land, right, in terms of numbers. So really, we're going to be looking to do some math and calculations after this to find out, okay, well, hey, you were in the top 8%. Where did you land? Like, what were your number? What was your high score, right? And even on the next iteration of the Scourge event, which we do understand that this is supposed to be coming back again, the next iteration, there are certain things that were impacting this run that probably led to you having a higher score, right? So number one, you being able to get these free points. These Scourges that are free now will be activated on the next Scourge run. So therefore, it may not be as easy to get those points as you were before, because some of these Scourges are pretty challenging, right? When a player character gets ability energy, each enemy deals 80% piercing damage to them. Like, that could be really impactful. On allied death, gain defense up, enemies gain defense up. I mean, some of these are not necessarily meta breaking per se, but could definitely be, you know, someone impactful to your run, the ones that are free right now that are not actively working. So we're gonna have to see sort of like what happens at the very end of this run here. What we also do know too as well is that there is going to be a delay on your payout, because they did mention it in the blog post last week that they are going to delay the payout, I think at least 24 hours, so that they can go through and delete players that are hacking, delete players that probably shouldn't be there. Now, they said obvious ones. They still need to incorporate a better system that actually finds not just obvious, but the ones that are not as obvious that are also hacking as well. So that's really kind of a concern, but pretty much basically going back to this whole thing where the leaderboard should never have been a part of this. They never figured it out. But here we are kind of dealing with the repercussions of what that is. But good luck to you guys on finishing and completing your Scourge run. Hopefully you guys get a good score that you guys feel good about it. Hopefully you're able to get the 5 stars if you're looking for, or 4 stars, or just get the unlock, whichever one it is. Hopefully you guys are able to get it. We have a couple more hours before it's all done. Right, and also happening this week is we do have a new strike pass that's going to be started this week. So the T'Challa strike pass is going to be ending here tomorrow night. So yeah, I mean, tomorrow as usual. So today, collect your dailies, do your regular stuff, but tomorrow, try to not collect all of your dailies if you're already done with the strike pass, right? So that when the strike pass does go live tomorrow, that you're going to be able to use whatever those objectives are towards the new strike path that's supposed to be going live. They mentioned it's supposed to be going live on April 26th, which would be tomorrow. So hopefully there's no delay where that is concerned. But what we do know about this new strike pass is that it's going to be featuring Misty Knight character shards, and it's also going to be featuring this new Misty Knight private eye costume. So if we actually jump into the game right now, I'm not gonna lie to you, I do like the costume. I think it's actually kind of really cool. I don't like the idea of having to spend for the costume per se, but some of the stuff really looks really cool, right? Like this looks pretty dope right here. Little badge, the big gun. There are some modifiers to it as well. So I do believe that you're gonna be able to collect pink phase bits through the strike pass, and that should give you enough. I believe if you probably spend for the premium, that's how they did it with the battle pass. They didn't exclusively mention it here, or maybe I missed it. But usually you pay the premium pass, and then that way you're able to get enough of the pink phase bits, and then you can go ahead and you can purchase that costume. But one of the things that I will say about this is I don't like this whole costume thing in these battle passes or strike passes. I don't like it at all. I think their idea is that they're kind of making this like a bundle deal, right? Where you spend your $20 and you're able to get some nice little resources that could be helpful with your roster, but then you still have to do kind of like this extra work in order to be able to do it. Because what if you can say, oh, you only have to do blitzes or a couple of hits in RTA if you want to be able to get through it. But what if there's a character that you don't want to blitz for? There's no event that's active, right? Then there really is no reason for you to blitz. So for me, I don't like the idea that I have to do extra work in order for me to be able to get. Usually, typically, in most games that I've ever played, when it comes to battle pass and strike passes, I'm doing that activity already, and then I'm able to get the points that I need because I'm spending the money, right, to be able to get through that's the thing. The work that other companies usually recognize or acknowledge is you spending the money, and then the extra stuff the stuff that you're already doing throughout the day already, that's accumulating towards your strike pass and your battle pass. They're kind of creating extra work for you to do to be able to get through it. Not so much the strike pass. The strike pass, for the most part, you're kind of doing those daily activities anyways, but the battle pass, not so much at times, I would say. But I don't like the idea of it. I also think that the costumes in the strike pass and the battle pass is what I'm saying. I also don't like the $40 per month thing. Like, can we process that for a second? It is $40 per month for both the strike pass and the battle pass together. That is insane to me. It is absolutely insane to me that we're spending $40 a month. Well, I know I'm not, but that players are spending $40 per month for both the strike pass and the battle pass. Now the battle pass to me is a little bit more valuable because I'm able to get some teal gear, although I don't think it's enough. I'm at least able to get some teal gear, but the strike pass, I largely skip it. Yes, there's 1,000 cores in there. Yes, there's the orange elite. Like, hey, there's some good stuff in the strike pass. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, if we take a look at the strike pass, I mean, there's these orange elite. There's an orange elite orbs that can give you some hero uniques. There's some trading mats. We talked about this already. There, hey, some mystic gear. I know for a fact that a lot of us could probably use the mystic gear. Yes, and there are some character shards that are here as well, which is, I guess, is nice depending on what the character is. And then the 1,000 cores. Listen, I'm not gonna tell you it's not good, but I would probably feel better if the strike pass itself was $10, right? The battle pass was $10, the strike pass was $10. I pay $20 per month, and then I'm able to get this extra stuff. Like, the idea that it's $40 a month is absurd. This game is so ridiculously expensive. We have a character offer right now in the store for $50, right? For Madeline Pryor. Let's do the math on that. If I'm buying both passes per month, plus if I'm trying to keep up in the game and I'm a spender and I want to get every single character, the best offer is going to be the first initial one, right? The best offer is always going to be the first initial offer because you're getting the 55 shards, you're getting these 8 orbs. These could land some pretty good shards. You're guaranteed to get a 3-star unlock of the character, but you could get even more. So usually the first offer is usually the best offer for the character from a value perspective. But if you're getting 2 characters per month at a bare minimum, essentially what's happening, that's $100. Then you're buying both the battle. That's $140 per month. That's a lot of money, man. This game is really expensive, and I think that they're really stretching players when it comes to these prices now. And there are a lot of months, right, where we're seeing 3 characters per month. We have a 4-character patch that's coming out next month. Come on, guys, they really should start to think about stuff like this. Drop the pricing of the battle pass and the strike pass. Make it $10 each for the premium. Make it $20 in total. That way it kind of alleviates some of the stress. Because I know a lot of players right now are just automatically skipping certain things, maybe not even buying certain characters anymore, simply because they feel stretched monetarily because of all the things that they have to spend money on. So those are my thoughts. I also think that Misty Knight going back into the strike pass again is kind of a near miss. Like, what about a new character? She's already been in the strike pass already in terms of character shards. Why don't we add Misty Knight again? So those are my thoughts, guys. Want to know what your guys' thoughts are on this? Like, what do you think about the cost of the strike pass? Even this costumes going back into the strike passes as well. I know we went off on a tangent. I just want to know your thoughts on it. Let me know. All right, and speaking of new characters going to the strike pass, and kind of like why I was just like, why is Misty going back in there again? Like, I get the costume, but also like, why her shards again, right? These I've highlighted on my roster. These are the current unfarmable characters in Marvel Strike Force. Now, I have blatantly left off some characters, right? Like Doctor Strange Heartless, I'm not gonna put him on there. Agatha Harkness, like these are like characters that are just getting released this month. There's certain characters that I'm obviously going to leave off of this list, right? Madeline Pryor, whatever, right? I'm not gonna put those characters on there, but these are characters that have been in the game for a little bit, some sooner than others, right? So Icarus, Silver Surfer, Cersei, Scarlet Spider, Spider-Punk, Lady Deathstrike, Star-Lord T'Challa, Voodoo, more recent, right? But Silver Samurai, Kate Bishop, Morbius, Echo. Now, these 3 characters, right? These 2 characters right here, Lady Deathstrike, T'Challa, and Silver Samurai, have already been in the strike pass. Actually, also Silver Surfer as well. So I wouldn't expect for those characters to go into the strike pass, but there's plenty of other characters that are currently here. But I wanted to bring to attention this blog post. This was back in February 1st of 2020, where they talked about the farmable character cadence. And this is something that they're not adhering to this at all, right? So one of the big questions, this is their words now. One of the big questions surrounds how we release characters to be farmable via campaign nodes, stores, orbs, or other methods. Moving forward, our goal is to make at least 2 previously unfarmable characters farmable each month. Definitely not the case. There may be rare months where we fall short of this goal, but at minimum, you can expect one previously unfarmable character to become farmable on the first Wednesday of every month as we enter February in a few days. The first character to become farmable is Namor, which is, like I said, this is a post from 2 years ago, so kind of take that for what it is there. But the last 5 months, they mentioned that it's going to be rare, right? There will be rare months where we fall short of this goal, but at a minimum, right? They will have at least one previously unfarmable character. We have had now 5 rare months in a row. In December, we got Deathpool to the premium orbs. I don't really consider that to be farmable, so you can do with that as you desire. January, we got Shang-Chi to the Blitz orbs. Not farmable, but better. February, Cloak went to the raid store. Not necessarily farmable per se, but better. At least he's obtainable, fountainable. Then we had Moondragon, who went to a node in March, and now we have Dagger, who went to the arena orb, which, by the way, it's the arena orb, so whatevs, right? So me personally, I'm at the point right now where I'm like, what is going on? They're obviously not adhering to this, and there's multiple issues that this kind of brings up, right? Concerns with characters being farmable after they're out of the meta, and we can blatantly kind of point to a character like Silver Surfer. Silver Surfer has been in the game now for, I think his release was last year, February, right? Like, or March. And to be fair, he's a good character. I use him every war. I used to use him every raid. I used to use him in arena. Like, I'm just not using him as much anymore, though. Just as a war attack character. There's a lot of players who are probably not working on Silver Surfer anymore because guess what? He's not bad, but he's not needed for anything. So kind of not out of the meta, but a little bit like kind of close to be out of the meta. But he's a character that's been unfarmable for so long now. What is the reason why he's not farmable yet? There's other characters that could be farmable. Icarus, Cersei, they should be somewhere. They've been out since December. You know, you can even point to Scarlet Spider, Spider-Punk. They were released in January, February. Lady Deathstrike, Silver Samurai, Magic was in December. There's so many characters that they could make farmable in certain places in the game or sooner, and they're just not currently doing that right now. And when I look at things like this is the reason why players feel this FOMO, right? And maybe that's what they're shooting for, but they kind of feel like, okay, well, I gotta get this character now because you're never gonna make them farmable in any sort of a reliable time frame. I think at a bare minimum, characters should at least be farmable within 2 months. Those are my thoughts. I just said that there would be characters who are premium characters, right? But I think a character should be farmable at least 2 months after their release date. Maybe that's even too long, or maybe that's even too short. But the way they're doing it right now, it's not really feasible, I think, personally, for where the game is at, where the power creep happens. I just don't think it's a good thing that they're doing currently right now. So let me know what your guys' thoughts are. That's the reason why I have an issue with Misty Knight going to the Strike Pass, because I'm just like, she's already been there. What about one of these other characters that is not farmable right now? I would have preferred if you had thrown some of those characters in there. All right, so kind of wrapping up with some stuff this week. So we got, finally we know who, we got a silhouette, Marvel Strike Force. We saw 4 new characters that are supposed to be coming in this next patch here in patch 6.1. We now know who 2 of those characters are going to be. So we know it's going to be Spider-Woman, and we also know it's going to be Nico Minoru. They're going to be a part of this A-Force team. We also now know that Captain Marvel as well as JJ, Jessica Jones, are going to be getting rework. So personally, I'm a little bit more excited for the reworks than I am for the 2 new characters that are coming into the game. So Spider-Woman is cool and Nico Minoru is cool, but I mean, I'm looking forward to being able to level up my CM and use her. When I got CM in Marvel Strike Force, I never really had a reason to invest into her ever, right? Now there were some players who were invested in putting G14 gear into her. I kind of just never really, because she was a premium orb exclusive character. It took me a while for me to actually get some shards on her that were good enough for me to actually, use her in any sort of reliable content. So. And I also just like to typically tend to skip some characters at times. But yeah, I mean, I never got her to a point where I was ever really able to use her. JJ, I used quite heavily on the Defenders team. But of course, she's been taken off like 2 times removed right now. she's not a part of the Heroes for Hire team, whatever, right? So I'm actually happy really for those reworks. Now, Spider-Woman and Nico Minoru, the two other characters, those two rework characters are going to be a part of a War Offense team. There's some pretty interesting kits. So Spider-Woman is a bio character. She's Hero City. She has some pretty cool stuff. Like she lowers accuracy for the enemy team whenever they have offense down. She gives the A-Force team resistance to offense down. She's a blaster, so she probably does a lot of damage. Nico Minoru, she's a mystic character. More mystic gear. Good God. And she's a controller, so bye-bye my green ISOs again that I just farmed for controllers. But Nico does some pretty good stuff too. She applies safeguard to the highest health A-Force allies. She also flips some positive effects. She applies trauma, and when we saw that in her kit, we were thinking, okay, well, maybe she might be a Heroes for Hire, or maybe this team might be a Heroes for Hire or a Young Avengers counter. Maybe that could definitely be the case. And there's some like interesting RNG stuff that's in her kit as well. So I think it's like in her ultimate ability, after every use of this ability, after the first time during a match, she will randomly choose one of the following positive effects. So gain to evade, apply to deflect, to self and all allies, revive a dead ally with 20% base health. Like, so if this does pop off, like it could be really good for your team. She also has like some RNG in her special too. So after every use of this ability, after the first time during a match, randomly choose one of the following effects, apply disrupted to the primary target, gain death proof, apply to counter to adjacent allies. So there's some RNG in the kit, even with her basic. After every use of the ability, randomly choose one of the following effects, apply bleed to the primary target, gain defense up, or heal the most injured ally or self by 15% of this character's max health. So it's a little RNG. Like it could be good, it could not do anything, it could not be meaningful, right? But it's interesting. Maybe not something that you like, but either way, it kind of is what it is. We'll see exactly how it performs in the game. I'm very concerned about the RNG component, but I guess we'll see what happens, right? But something else that was a pop out to me was no She-Hulk, right? Like why does this team have no She-Hulk on it? I mean, so kind of weird. And we were doing some research on stream on Friday night, and we pulled up every single A-Force cover, or mostly every single A-Force cover that we looked at. Had She-Hulk literally dead center. Like, look at this right here. What is this? Dazzler, that's Nico, that's CM, that's Medusa, and here is She-Hulk literally right in the middle. And then if you look on Google, almost every single one, right? So there's this one again, right there in the middle. There's this one again, she's right dead center. This one again, she's right dead center. Almost every single A-Force cover, she's right dead center, which I don't know, that's obviously intentional by them, but it doesn't make us feel as if though this is the reason why we think that this may be the next Scourge requirement team, right? So for whatever the next Scourge event is, because there was a 4-person Dark Hunters team, we're now thinking that based with this 4-person A-Force team, that maybe this is going to be a team that's probably going to be needed for that Scourge event as a requirement as well. We're also thinking Young Avengers too. So we're thinking like, okay, Young Avengers, and then also because Young Avengers is actually pretty good even outside of war. Like they're pretty dynamic team. And then probably A-Force is going to be a team that could be used here outside to be as a requirement for the Scourge event. So I don't know. That's kind of my thoughts, but no She-Hulk definitely feels bad because I'm just like she's like such she's dead center on every single A-Force cover. So it was interesting that she wasn't there. But a lot of bio gear too. CM, Spider-Woman is a bio character. JJ's a bio character. So some more bleeding on some bio gear as well. So we're interesting. I'm wondering if the next Scourge is going to be a bio character, but we'll see. But the character silhouettes are definitely starting to sort of come in picture now. We know of these 2 characters, and then the next characters we know who those are going to be as well. Sorry, wrong picture. Not $, but definitely probably going to cost you some dollars. This silhouette is what we had last week here, where Spider-Woman and Nico. We now know who those 2 characters are. Now, our predictions are that this one, somebody was saying that this might be Blade, because they may just be doing a patch where Blade could probably end up being the 5th member of the Dark Hunters team. I don't really know. I hate predictions. I'm very terrible at them. So I'm just giving you information that I've received. Somebody said Blade. Somebody said, I don't even remember who the other name is. But really the one that we're most concerned about, or we really want to know about right here, is this picture. So a lot of us were saying, no, man, this cannot be Gambit. It cannot be Gambit. It cannot be Gambit. But we want it to be Gambit, right? We want it to be Gambit. We want it to be Gambit so bad, especially Tana. But I'm saying it's Havoc. And you know why I'm saying it's Havoc? Because I don't want to be disappointed when it's not Gambit. Okay, I'm saying it's Havoc, and it kind of would make sense because, you know, adding Blade as a dark hunter character to that team, and then probably also adding Havoc as a fifth member of the X Factor team. Maybe X Factor becomes a little bit more reliable outside of war offense. Maybe that could be the direction. But something about this purple background, I'm like, this definitely looks like Gambit. I don't really know how it could possibly not be him. That's really kind of where my thoughts are where this is concerned. But those are our topics, guys, for this week on the Weekly Headliner. I want to know what your guys' thoughts are about all of these topics. Oh my goodness, the Wong Blitz. That's gonna be, like I said, that's gonna be starting tonight here. So wishing you guys best of luck. Agatha's event, trash. Morgan Le Fay's Scourge event, that's going to be ending tonight. Thank goodness for me. Strike Pass, I'm tired of the costumes and the Strike Pass. Tired of $40 per month. It's too much, in my opinion. The Unfarmable Characters, they got to fix this. It's something that they definitely need to address here. A-Force, why no She-Hulk? Why no She-Hulk on that team? And of course, you know, is this going to be the next Scourge team requirement? And this is actually Gambit. That's coming tomorrow with Strike Force. So we're going to find out some information here. But listen, want to know what your guys' thoughts are. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys, if you guys have already done so already. Make sure that you hit that notification bell, too, so that you know when my videos do go live. Check out the links that are down below. Amazon coins, guys. Make sure that you're saving some money here on your Marvel Strike Force in-game purchases. Also, click on and use my link because that does support the channel as well. But appreciate you guys so very much. Until next time, y'all be blessed. Y'all be safe. Bye.